very important game in Arizona. We lay an egg, then we come home. Think we got some traction. We're up 2-0, and then get in some penalty trouble, and then pretty much lay an egg the rest of the game. So individually and collectively as a group, got to get back on the horse here. It's obviously frustrating. Ours just came in this morning where you could tell everyone's pretty frustrated, but you can't let frustration creep into your game. That's not going to help you get out of any hole we're in. We're not on a 10-game losing streak. We're on a 2, and like I said, we haven't gained any ground, but we haven't lost any ground. We just got to snap out of it and be positive.
It's a long season. It does happen, but we have to make sure it happens, a lot less than the other way around. So, yeah, like I said, we've had two bad games here, so we have a good chance to regroup tomorrow.
It's always the time. This time isn't different from any other time. It's always the time when you lose 2, you got to get back. So we recognize the urgency of it, but I understand what you're saying, playoff race and everything, but we look at that like when we had the losing streak in December, we were saying this every day too. You can't lose 2 in a row, right? So we're saying the same things now, but there's some things. The one thing, and I think I mentioned it after the Calgary game, is there's games that you play that you set a standard for your team. And, we had some games there, St. Louis, Calgary, you set standards, you set new heights for your team. So those are standards you got to try to get to every night. And when you don't get to those standards, then it's frustrating, right? And especially when you're not winning games. There's nights where you're not at those standards and you still find a way to win. We didn't win the last 2 games, so to get back to that standard we were at, that's what we think will make us the most successful. So that's where we got to get to today. So there's a little bit of, we haven't practiced much in the last week. We had a good practice today. Hopefully we can get back closer to that standard that we want to be at to get ourselves back on the winning track.